I'm Sonia and I help people take their power back. Trying to get the camera to settle down. I'm here, gonna hang out with you guys, answer questions, and just see what happens. But I have a fucking crazy success story to tell you. While we have people jump on here today, I have been affirming over on TikTok. I mentioned it somewhere. I'm getting close to having 1,000 subscribers on TikTok, and I'm excited to start going live over there. And I've been affirming that I get to go live, and I get to go live before Thanksgiving, which is on Thursday. And so I've just been affirming that, focusing on that, and, choosing that. And today I noticed that I can go live on TikTok. Now, I don't have 1,000 subscribers on TikTok. I have like 930 something. But apparently that doesn't matter, and TikTok is letting me go live. So my friend Sheila, who I actually met on TikTok, I told her, we've been talking about going live on TikTok for a while, and I'm like, I think I can go live on TikTok. And she's like, what do you mean you can go live on TikTok? I'm like, I think I can go live. Hey, Jacqueline, that is your name, right? I am calling you the right name, and I didn't mistake that that's what you told me your name was. Okay, good, because I was like, I think I'm 99% sure that's your name. I'm telling the story of going live on TikTok earlier. Jacqueline was over there hanging out with us. It was so much fun. But I told Sheila, I'm like, hey, I think I can go live. And I was actually thinking about going. I was like, man, I want to go live on TikTok. But I'm like, I'm going live on TikTok or YouTube later to this live. So I don't know that I necessarily want to go on TikTok today, but I want to go live on TikTok. And then Sheila was affirming that she got out of class today. And she texted me and was like, let's go live on TikTok, right now. And I was like, okay. We had a fucking blast. And I get to go live on TikTok, and I don't even have to follow the rules and have 1,000 people. You always get what you want when you decide that's what you're gonna fucking get, people. Oh, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? That's my only thing to talk about. Other than my dog has stuff not only on his head now, but on his nose that I can't identify, and he won't let me, so. Huh, Jax? You have to be the interesting one. What do you guys want to talk about? I know, I'm sure somebody's got questions. Sir, you're a mess. Don't growl at me, weirdo. No topics? Nobody has anything to talk about? Nobody has a question? We got something. Been having a hard time manifesting. A lot of people say it's instant and that there's no separation, but I don't know. Is there something I'm not understanding? Okay, so manifestation at its core is you've always been doing this, okay? The way that you think and what you tell yourself is happening in the present moment, and the way that you think about yourself, the way you think about other people, the way you think about things and situations, all of that is creating your reality. And what you focus on the most and tell yourself is happening or is going to happen is what manifests. When people are talking about it being instant, in your imagination is your true reality. What you are telling yourself is your reality. It is your experience. So when you choose to think of something differently, you make that shift instantly. from thinking of it this way to thinking of it this way. Now, the problem is that all these old thoughts keep coming back up, and if you focus on the old shit, you're going to get more of the old shit. But when you pick something new and decide that that's what's going to happen and you choose to bring yourself back to that, the shift is instant. You may not feel it, you may not see it because there is usually a delay in your physical world from when you are doing the manifestation work internally. The shift is instant, but you're not going to just like instantly have shit appear in your life, more than likely, because your entire belief system and how you believe the world works creates what you are experiencing and will have an impact in how you are going to get your manifestations. There is no separation because everything is you. Everything that you are experiencing is you. You are creating all of it, so it's not separate from you. When it comes to other people, we're all connected. And how you view people, they are going to reflect that back to you because that is how you view them, and they will start to have you ever had somebody when you're like somebody says something and you're like, man, I was just thinking that? It's because we're all connected and there's no separation. They were picking up on what you were thinking without realizing that that's what was happening. Hopefully that was helpful. But basically, in your head, you want to tell yourself that things are the way you want them to be or are going to be the way you want them to be. The way you think about the thing that you want to manifest and how much you wish you had it and how it's impossible or this thing's in the way or that thing's in the way or how would that happen, whatever. Nope, I get what I want. This is so easy. I know exactly what I'm doing. I always get what I want. That thing was the easiest thing for me to manifest. It worked out perfectly. Manifestation is all about changing you, changing how you perceive yourself, the world, and everything around you, choosing how you want to view things. Hi, H. Bell. How are you doing? Also, how can I stop getting discouraged? I know it's a discipline thing, but any advice? I have ADHD and a lot of impulsive thoughts, so it's a bit hard for me to stay disciplined. Thank you. Stop telling yourself that your brain is a problem. You are manifesting perfectly the way that your brain thinks naturally right now. You are making it, you're like, there's something to get discouraged about because my brain is different than other people's and it's not working right, and you're the one who's choosing that story and telling yourself that. And I promise, as somebody who had a really fucking hard time with their thoughts, it gets easier and it gets better. But the more you tell yourself, literally, I just started telling myself I have full control of my thoughts. I have full control of my thoughts. This is so easy. And it fucking worked. Because right now you're focused on, I'm so discouraged. I have all these thoughts. I need to be more disciplined. I can't do this. And it's reflecting back to you perfectly. I never waver. I have full control of my thoughts. This is so easy. I fully understand manifest. I know everything there is to know about manifesting. I fully understand it. I get what I want when I want it. It's literally changing your mindset and viewing it differently. And when you catch yourself and you're like, man, and you want to get discouraged, you just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go back to it. the longer you let yourself stew in being discouraged and this isn't working and this is hard, you're right. And you're going to get more things happening to prove you right. Because the law is always working. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Twitter LOA complicates it so much. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know how Twitter LOA is, but that's why I got on YouTube. That's why I got on TikTok, starting to talk about my experience with this stuff because I had a long, hard journey trying to figure it out myself. And once I figured it out, I really wanted to be the person I wish I would have found because it's not as hard as people make it out to be. But like you said, it is a discipline, it's a choice. It's realizing that you can think anything you want about anything and then bringing yourself back to the decision of how you want things to be. Manifesting's easy for me. I fully understand it. There's your decision. So anytime you start wondering or doubting or questioning yourself when it comes to manifesting, you remind yourself, no, I know everything there is to know about manifesting. This is so fucking easy for me. What are you doing, sir? Anybody else have any questions? I got nothing to talk about. I don't come prepared for topics to talk about on my lives. Sometimes I'll have some things, but I was just telling my TikTok story when I got on here. Manifested being able to go on live on TikTok before the date I wanted to be able to go live without even having 1,000 followers. So I'm too good at this shit. Just to be clear, so I'm excited. All I do is think as if no matter what the 3D shows me and affirm I'm in control when these thoughts come up, correct? Yes. Yeah. When you start to be like, oh my God, my thoughts are so, no, I have full control of my thoughts. I have full control of my thoughts. I don't know. I know I have full control of my thoughts. Now, if you're like me, you're probably going to have the old thoughts still playing in your head. Like, just keep telling yourself. This is where, for me, robotic affirmations is what helped me so much. Because when it's like, okay, this is bothering me and it's not leaving me alone, I'm just going to robotically tell myself, I have full control of my thoughts. 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 If that doesn't feel good to you, you don't have to do it that way. But yeah, you want to, you think the thoughts you want to be true regardless of everything else. If somebody tells you no when you wanted them to tell you yes, you just take it as, okay, I still get what I want, so I don't know how this is going to work out, but I still get my shit and you're going to tell me yes. That's where, people talk about revision. You can change the past. In that situation, you could just decide, no, they told me yes, and focus on, they told me yes. No, they didn't tell me no. That was a bad dream. They didn't tell me no. They told me yes. Thank you so much. You're literally a lifesaver. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I could help. It's literally just your thoughts and how the perspective you choose to view the world from. And in any moment, you can accept or reject anything that you are thinking and think about it however the fuck you want to. Tired, laugh out loud, worked super early today. Can you talk a bit more about manifesting appearance changes? Do you think people doubt it's possible, making it more difficult to do you think people doubt it's possible, making it more difficult to believe? Well, anything that you doubt is possible is going to make it harder to believe about anything, but there are so many fucking stories of people changing their appearance and pictures of people having, like, I literally saw somebody's like before and after appearance change photo of a manifestation coach on TikTok earlier, and it's like, you I think part of appearance change stuff, and this is just my opinion, if you are, because your appearance is attached to a lot of other things, right? You want an appearance change for a lot of different reasons. And if you want an appearance change and you're constantly then telling yourself that you hate your appearance and you're so ugly or whatever, the affirmations, whatever you're currently telling yourself, it's harder to focus on that things are the way that you want them to be. My suggestion for appearance change stuff is kind of mirror work, but whenever you look at yourself in the mirror, whenever you see your appearance, you need to compliment yourself on the things you wish were different and tell yourself how beautiful, handsome, sexy, whatever you fucking want to be, you are. And whatever things, I think of the book Psycho-Cybernetics when I talk about appearance changes. This is not a manifestation book. It is a self-help book. The author, the information in it is interesting, and it has a lot of similarities with like Neville and Joseph Murphy and stuff like that, but there's also a lot of not similarities. But the author of that book was a plastic surgeon. His name is, I think, Maxwell Minks, something like that. Miltz? I can't remember. The book's around here somewhere. But he was a plastic surgeon in like the 40s and 50s. And they talk about in the book how plastic surgery back then wasn't like it is now. We're just like everybody gets plastic surgery. So the people getting plastic surgery back then were people who severely needed plastic surgery. And he was talking, as he was practicing, he noticed something about people who would, after the surgery. So everybody needed it. That wasn't like, the degree of which people needed plastic surgery wasn't the thing that interested him. These were all people who needed plastic surgery. But what he noticed, hold on, there's a bug on me. What he noticed is that were three groups of people, like three different groups of people that were how people showed up after they would have the surgery. There were the people that were instantly different. There were the people where there was a time delay in their change and acceptance of their new self. And there were the people who, no matter how much they looked different, even they would be unrecognizable to their own family, these people would be like, I need more surgery. I don't look any different. Fix it. And what he found is it all came down to basically their self-concept and how they viewed themselves. I remember one of the stories that he tells in that book is that there was a guy who had like really big ears, and he was a salesman and he was single, and like in his job, he's like, no one wants to buy from me because I have big ears. And no one wants to go out with me because I have big ears. So all of the problems in his life came back to, well, I have big ears, so none of this can happen. So he had the surgery, got his ears fixed, and then all of a sudden his problem went away. So if you're talking about appearance stuff, I would take a look at the stuff that you feel will be different in your life, because if that appearance change happened, all the other things that you're like, well, this, and this may not be you, but it's the thing that I found very interesting and caught in myself when it comes to appearance stuff, it's like all that stuff would be different if you had the appearance change, right? I want a flat stomach. You have a flat stomach. What are you talking about? You have a flat stomach and $1 million. You're too fucking good at this, Jacqueline. But an appearance change is the same as any other manifestation. You have to tell yourself that it is the way that you want it to be now, and everything is the way you want it to be now, and let go of the rest. You can no longer hate your appearance if it changed. I know I asked this before, but I wasn't able to find a lot of information on it. But revision, I want a situation that happened to not have happened and to go back to the way things were with a friend. To be honest, revision is not my. I haven't done a lot of revision the way that Neville taught revision. Neville taught revision to like go back and like relive the situation and then view it the way you wish things would have happened or something like that. The way I would just do it is be like, we're friends, everything's perfect between us, or you can tell yourself that that situation never happened. The person I would watch if you really want to revise something like that is Your Thoughts Create here on YouTube. Flossie talks a lot about revision and has some really good videos on revision for that kind of thing. Hey Gemma, what's up? Hope all is well. And the dogs. The dogs are good. Jax has like some unidentifiable stuff on his nose. I don't know. He went that way. Sonia, I know I'm focusing on my hair and wow, what I don't like about it. So, wow, I think I completely understand what you're saying. Thank you. You're welcome. You love your hair. Your hair is amazing and perfect, and it's your favorite thing about you now. The other thing you can do if it's your hair, just to placebo that shit. The shampoo that you use. Oh my god, the shampoo makes my hair so perfect and long and thick and whatever you don't like about it right now. Oh my god, the shampoo fixed my hair. Oh my god, the shampoo fixed my hair. Oh my god, the shampoo fixed my hair. You can ask Gemma. Moons just did this. She was talking about on the last live how she had her nose pierced and just decided that her face wash would make the scar go away, and it did. Yeah, I'm good. Just got back from a late night grocery shop. Fun. Late night grocery shopping. That's always fun. Oh, now you're back? Can I see what's on your face? Yeah, I figured. So we're probably not going to know what's on Jax's face. It's a mystery. Yep, just affirm it when I washed my face and it worked. See? Affirm when you wash your hair or do anything with your hair. Oh my god, this makes my hair so perfect. I love my hair so much. My hair's amazing. It's my best feature. You can also be like, everyone complimenting me on my hair. Everyone compliments me on my hair. Everyone wishes they had my hair. What? Anybody else have stuff they want to talk about tonight? Ah, yes, Moons and Sun, yeah. It will fix my hair. It's now so thick and healthy. This is helping me. Yay! Awesome. Yeah, just you gotta remind yourself. And if you want to placebo it, there you go. That's a great time to affirm. Every time you look in the mirror, that's what you're going to affirm. When you think about it, that's what you're going to do anyway, and with any manifestation in the moment, your, mental diet. I really don't care for that term, but it is what it is. But when you see yourself in the mirror, when you play with your hair, when you're washing your hair, oh my god, it's so perfect and amazing. I love it. And remind yourself when you get annoyed with the 3D, you are just going to get more of what you don't want. Yes, exactly. The mental diet part. It's usually enough motivation to affirm. What are you doing, silly boy? All manifesting is changing your perspective. Sonia, you know what I realized? What did you realize? Probably something amazing. Knowing you. I always hear people say change is hard. Yeah, that's a very common belief that people have, but it's only an assumption. Yeah, it's also kind of an affirmation. Well, thoughts are just affirmations, but yeah. Don't tell yourself shit's hard. Don't be sorry. You can ask more questions. Probably, possibly one last question. You can ask as many questions as you like. How exactly do I ignore the 3D? Do I just go into my imagination and say I have what I want? Like imagining like I mentioned, I'm getting discouraged because it's been months. Stop focusing on the time. You already have what you want. So, whenever you want to think about how do you naturally think? What are you naturally telling yourself? Like, when you're thinking about how you don't like things and how you want things to change, how are you thinking? So, you're going to take that. Is it visuals? Is it just words? Is it like, how does your brain work? And you're going to shift the focus to, instead of this doesn't work, how much longer, when am I going to get what I want, I have what I want, everything's perfect, I always get things quickly and easily. For me, I think in mostly words, so I use affirmations. If you want to have set affirmations so that when things come up around whatever topic you're manifesting, you go back to those affirmations, reminding yourself that things are the way you want them to be. But when people are saying ignore the 3D, it's like I was saying earlier. Oh, somebody told me no, but I wanted them to tell me yes, like SP. I don't want to be with you. You're not going to be like, oh, well, they said they don't want to be with me, so they don't want to be with me, and I don't get what I want. No, they absolutely love me and only want to be with me. That's what you're going to tell yourself in your imagination, ignoring the 3D. Everything is working out in my favor. I always get what I want. What is happening now in the present moment is just either the bridge of incidents or is old manifestation. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get what I want. What if people told themselves change is easy? That is such a good affirmation, and I love that. Then that's what will be proven to be true. Exactly. Focus on time, you will get more time. That too. You can't be focused on the time. What you're really doing is, yes, your thoughts are what create your reality, because that is what you have control over, choosing how you are going to view things and what you are going to think about. But it is your state of consciousness, meaning your dominant viewpoint that you keep returning to, the thing you tell yourself the most, that is going to manifest. And this is where it's like you can't be wavering, telling yourself the opposite. You can't be letting the 3D get into your head and tell you things that you don't want to be true, even if it seems like something is happening and it's against what you would want. And how could this possibly get me where I want to go? You have to remind yourself that you're the one in control and that your thoughts are what is going to dictate what you are going to experience. So these thoughts about how I don't get what I want and how I'm still waiting for shit to change have to go, because the longer you hold on to them and stay in the state of not having what you want and focusing on how it doesn't work and that you don't know what you're doing and that you could never possibly have that and this happened in the 3D, the more you're going to get that shit. You have to let that old shit go. I just started rereading Neville's books, and in At Your Command, the thing that really stuck out to me is him talking about, in order to change your experience, you can't serve, it's worded something like this. It's like you can't serve two masters. You have to die to one state of consciousness, meaning I don't get what I want. This is hard. Where's my shit? And live in the other, meaning I have everything I want, in order for the outside to change. I get a discount from Just Eat. Was affirming for this consciously because lately I have been addicted to ordering food in. That's awesome. But that, instead of being like, oh my God, I'm eating out too much and I'm spending so much money and oh my God, I'm getting a discount from them. Like, I obviously. I need to find who this guy is on TikTok, but I found a guy on TikTok who's like, I'm a habitual positive thinker. Not a toxic positivity. It's not toxic positivity because you can feel your feelings and do you, because I believe that's what toxic positivity is. It's just trying to be happy even when you're really not. I don't even know, but he's like, I'm a habitual positive thinker. I choose to see the good in everything. And the more you can do that and tell yourself that things are always working in your favor, the faster you are going to get shit to manifest. I always say every time I spend money, I get 10 times back. That is an awesome affirmation. Money doesn't have free will. No, it fucking doesn't. Nor does anything else in your reality. Everything is whatever you think it is and what you tell yourself that it is. And it does whatever you tell yourself it's going to do. And I know when you're starting out with this shit, that can seem fucking crazy, but I promise you it isn't. It absolutely isn't. I suggest people use it. It makes life so much better. Yeah. Every time I spend money, I get 10 times back. Manifestation is supposed to be fun and easy, and when you first start, it is not that. But once you get it and once you understand what you're doing, it gets easier and easier and easier, and it becomes fun. But you have to decide you're going to figure it the fuck out and that it always works for you. I use it especially when that voice screams that I'm spending too much money. The more money I spend, the more money I get back. So shut up, voice telling me that I'm spending too much money. And since then, money has never been a problem. See? That's fucking awesome. I love that. No one wants money problems. That's no fun. And I know When people are talking about like you will shift into a reality, like you shift realities, like you really do. It's fucking nuts. The things when you first start manifesting and you are starting to affirm and you're affirming a lot and seems so impossible will become your default mindset. And when that happens, the thoughts that you are thinking now are going to be as foreign to you as your affirmations are at this moment. And it's crazy. Every Christmas, I feel heaviness about money, worried just because of the way I grew up, but I know I can change this and more money and have more money than I can handle. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love Moons's uh every time I spend money, I get more money back. Money comes to me easily. It literally is changing that belief system around money, and that's where you can use revision and throw in I've always had a lot of money. I've always been good with money. Money's always been easy for me. It will change your experience. We really shift realities. That's infinite realities. Infinite realities. Everything is possible. You can think about things however the fuck you want to think about them. The more you tell yourself that that is what is happening, you will get more and more proof that that is what is happening. It will become normal and natural to you. Sometimes I feel like manifesting isn't real, but I believe in witchcraft, so I'm not sure why my brain kept telling me manifestation isn't real. Laugh out loud, I've manifested smaller stuff, so I'm kind of stuck. Laugh out loud. Well, the reason witchcraft works is because you're manifesting. Witchcraft, spell work, prayer, religions, all religions, what they're teaching you is that what you believe and what what you tell yourself is true is true. Whatever you're telling yourself is happening is happening. If you know, use a spell and tell yourself it's done, this is what's going to happen, that's manifesting. But you're using something to do something instead of you did the thing and now whenever you think about it, you're like it's done. That's manifesting. This is what's going to happen, and then you remind yourself what you're doing. That's it. Another good affirmation for money is manifesting money is so easy for me. Yep, that is another one. Yes, magic is another form of manifestation. Everything you are experiencing is a manifestation. Your entire experience is a manifestation because it is what you believe and what you tell yourself that it is. And the more you focus on what you are, the more you shift your focus from what you're used to telling yourself, that's what gets things to change. What happens if you're manifesting your SP and they are manifesting someone else? Why are you giving your SP free will? Jacqueline, no. They don't have free will. Why would they? No. They want you and only you. They only have eyes for me. They only want me. They're manifesting me. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there you go. Except they involve other entities. Exactly. Saw a YouTuber who was a witch talk about that magic is a form of manifestation. Yep. I believe that. Jax, you need a bath. You are leaving stuff everywhere. My goodness. They have clients too, and they actively believe in the law of assumption. Very interesting. And the more you do it, the more you part of it too is you have to tell yourself that you believe in it. I had to do that at one point. I was manifesting all kinds of crazy shit, and I was like, I don't know if I believe, and what if it's not actually real? And I realized, okay, what do I have to manifest in order for me to believe? Because I had a few bigger manifestations, things that I thought were fucking impossible that happened, and I was like, well, if this happens, then I'll believe. And then I would catch myself still questioning and doubting and wondering if I believed, and I realized, oh, because I fucking focused on that I may not believe. I believe in the law. I know exactly what I'm doing. This works every time. It's a choice. Just like any other manifestation, you manifest your belief in the law. And it really comes down to your belief system. What do you believe about the world? How does the world work? Do you believe in like religious beliefs? Do you believe in what do you want to believe in? What do you like to believe in? Any belief, you can accept it or reject it. You can change it and believe whatever the fuck you want to. We're all doing this anyway. But now that you know that you can choose to focus on and believe whatever you want, you'll start to catch yourself thinking things and being like, do I want to keep telling myself that and keep believing that and keep holding on to that, or do I want to let it go? I've said this multiple times recently. My favorite new affirmation is I easily let shit go because I was tired of holding on to all kinds of crap. I easily let shit go. I can let that go because I easily let shit go. I know exactly how to let things go. Her name is Unseen Seraph. I used to watch her when I first discovered manifestation. I no longer watch her, but she had a video where she talked about magic relating to the law of assumption a few years ago. Huh, interesting. Is ignoring time similar to ignoring the 3D? I know I mentioned it's been months since I started manifesting, but I can't help but focus on time. I feel like I'm missing out, so I get frustrated a lot. So what you're um yeah. Hold on. My brain just like had a thing and then it short circuited on me. Hold on. Is ignoring time similar to ignoring the 3D? Yes. Yeah, it is. In here, it's done. It's already done. Creation is finished. You're not creating anything. You're selecting the experience that you are having. It's a selection process. You select your reality with your thoughts. This is what I was saying earlier about when you think it, it's an instant shift. You're instantly in the reality. Now, what you want to do is make sure that you keep yourself there, not like 24/7, I have to be thinking perfectly or it's not going to work. But when you do think of the topic, instead of being upset about the time and that you don't have it, you want to imagine having it and how amazing it is and how much you love your life. Whether you do that through visuals or affirmations or scripting, it doesn't matter. But the more you focus on that you don't have what you want, you are in the state of not having it, and you're going to keep continuing that because that's what you are telling yourself and what you're focused on. That's who I was talking about earlier. Yes, manifestation is instant. There is no waiting. And when you start to feel like you're waiting, you got to go back up here and tell yourself, no, I already have what I want. It was so easy to get it. It's so amazing. You can also you can think in future tense too. It's not like it has to be like it's done, but it is a set done deal. It is signed, sealed, delivered. It is mine. There's no waiting. There's nothing to be upset about. Not that you can't get upset because you are a human and you're going to have your moments, but it is done. Like you said, Sonia, the moment you think from that reality, you are in it. Yeah. You make the decision, I'm getting what I want, And then when you want to doubt or question or whatever, you remind yourself that no, you're in the reality in which you're getting what you want. That's the only way we can experience the reality we want. Yep, it all starts with how you are viewing things. And this works with everything. However you think about anything is the experience you are having and will influence what you are going to experience in the future. Whatever you dominantly focus on the most is what you are going to get in the future. My brother just brought me a book, The Magician's Way. I'm excited to read it. He was always so sick, but after reading this book, he feels so much better. He is changing his thoughts. That's awesome. I've never heard of that book. I used to get sick all the time. All the time. And then I found I didn't even find the law. I just decided I never get sick. I never get sick. I never get sick. I never get sick. And so whenever I think I might be getting sick, I'm like, I never get sick. And everyone around me in October, everyone around me got sick and they got like really sick. And I was the only one that didn't get sick at all. I haven't been sick in 3 years. I had like this weird sick for like a few days. I had the weirdest runny nose thing going on where I felt like I was going to drown in my sinus drainage, but I felt fine. It was weird. Did that with alcohol. Affirm I never get hungover. It was pretty good. I haven't been sick in years either. Yeah. Maybe it was allergies. Maybe it was. Well, I don't know because like everyone around me had the same thing, so we were all allergic to the same thing. I guess I don't know, but it just lasted a few days, and all of us are like, I'm really tired and my sinuses are draining, but I don't feel sick, so I don't know. But other than that, I have not gotten sick in years. It's been years. And now when people get sick around me, and I know I used to do this. I used to be so paranoid about getting sick. I would be around somebody who was sick and be like, "Oh my god, I'm getting sick. I just know I'm getting sick." And I would get sick and not only get sick, but get sick quickly. That's amazing. I feel like this is so easy, but my brain isn't comprehending. I feel like I've overconsumed so much LOA content. My brain is like, oh, that's new. Probably. What you need to do is tell yourself that you know what you're doing. The affirmation my brain needed is I know everything there is to know about manifesting and fully understand it. You can also use like I'm a master at manifesting. But you need to come up with an affirmation, something to tell yourself that you understand and you know what you're doing. And you also need to trust you because at the end of the day, you are on your own journey, you have your own way of thinking, and you need to find what's going to work best for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But understand that the way you choose to view things, it's what manifests. What you what you dominantly tell yourself about things is what manifests. And when you start telling yourself something new, it's really weird and uncomfortable. And your head's gonna play all the reasons, well, that's probably not true. And like that, like let's take Moons is every time I spend money, I get 10 times the money back. Your brain's gonna be like, well, that's impossible. How would that happen? Blah, blah, blah. And you're just gonna keep telling yourself that, and it's gonna become familiar with it. And then soon you're just going to be thinking it without having to try and think about it, and then it's going to start happening, and this can happen in any order, but it's going to start happening, and then you're going to form that belief that that's just what happens, and then you don't, just like how you think about how you don't have money and you don't know what to do with money, and You're going to think about how money comes to you every time you spend money. It's just an expectation. That's awesome. It's crazy. The same people at my work always seem to get COVID. Same, some 3 or 4 times now. But it's not me ever. I was never worried or scared about getting it. Me either. And I worked in a fucking restaurant in 2020. I started working there in February of 2020. And that was when I was like, I'm not getting this. Mm-mm. And that was before I understood what manifesting actually was and how it worked. It was just like, no, absolutely not. Automatic, absolutely. Yeah, I had a coworker once who was like, he's like, I never get sick. You guys will all get sick, but I'll never get sick. I'll be here every day. And I'm like, that's an interesting, like, and I believe that. He's like, I never get sick, but everyone else does. And it's like, yeah, that's because you just, would you chill yourself? Sorry, not sound crazy. COVID still exists. Yeah. I have a friend who they avoided it for a while and then uh her and her partner got it and were like, "Oh, well, we just knew it was a matter of time before we got it, so we're glad to have it over with." And I'm like, "Why in the fuck would you set the expectation that you had to get sick? That's a choice I'm not making." Oh, that's funny, Moons. I haven't heard someone getting COVID in 2 years. I also think it helps that I don't watch the news. I stopped watching the news because I'm like, I can't do this anymore. That was the best decision I ever made. Like, legitimately. I kept reading books about, this was like my personal development days of like, successful people don't watch the news. And I was like, so reluctant of like, but you have to watch the news. You have to know what's happening. And then I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. And it was the best decision ever. I don't relate to society anymore. Yeah, I kind of agree there. I stopped watching in 2015. Yeah, it's like you get so much peace of mind when you're not filling your head with all that shit. I really feel very different. Yeah. Mhm. I agree. I actually agree. I never watch the news either. Yep. It would not surprise me if that is a very common trend between people who find this stuff and are truly on the like manifestation journey. We're at peace. Exactly. Exactly. Why get upset and agitated about stuff that you don't have to? I would much rather focus on peace and love and all of that stuff because I know that it has an effect on everything else. Yes, we are. I agree. Me thinking society is a scam is also an assumption. Oh, it's true. It is true. I am aware. At least you're aware, but yeah. I'm very much of the it's like you do you, but I don't want to get involved in that crap anymore because I don't feel good and am very unhappy when I feel like I need to involve myself in that shit. And people would say it, they're like, does it really matter what's happening in politics? And it's like, well, it's when you're really in it, it seems like it does, but then you take a step back and you're like, no, it really doesn't. We all live in our own realities, which doesn't include TV. I agree. I don't care to change that assumption. Yeah, isn't it to focus on me? Yeah, I love that you don't have to change every assumption. There are plenty of assumptions that I have that I'm like, yeah, I'm content with that assumption. That's fine. Make your assumptions work for you. You don't have to fight with everything. Mm-hmm. Got it. And the great thing, we can change any assumption at any time. Yep, you absolutely can. Abso-freaking-lutely. Obviously, repetition. And yeah. Yeah. And when you realize that that's what it is just I can change this through repetition of something else, makes it a lot easier. Sunny, we're all gonna come back on here with lots of amazing success stories. Fuck yeah, you are. Absolutely. Giving me birds, H Bell. I affirm for all the success stories I get from my social media. Hell yeah. Moons was giving me birds about the success stories too. She always has success stories when she comes on here. I have a feeling December will be your best month. I I'm excited about December. I'm always excited now though, so that's not surprising. Which I will tell you, compared to old Sonia, who was never excited about anything and was very, very miserable, to be like, I wake up in the morning and I'm excited for December is like so awesome. Yes, I do. Yay. You always do. I have a playlist of Law of Assumption reminders. That's awesome. And watch it every day. What is your thoughts on the time it takes for things to develop in our reality? LOA coaches usually say it's about resistance, longer the more resistance, but I don't know how I feel about that. The time it takes is it's based on you. How long do you think it takes? How much are you wavering? It really does come down to that most of the time. Like you think you are thinking from the end, think you're doing everything right, but a lot of people are wavering and they're not even realizing that they're doing that. When you are fully in the state or close to the state and all that, like really doing it, you don't even fucking give a shit about the time. It doesn't matter. So the more you focus on the time and how long is this going to take, that is a form of wavering, which is quote unquote resistance, opposing thoughts, thinking against having what you want. As far as how long is it going to take, like I said, it depends on your belief system and how much you're wavering and how, like, it depends on you. That's why I have a lot of success stories. That's awesome. But yeah, what are your thoughts on time? Usually say it's about resistance, longer, more resistance. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, that's my take on that. Thanks. I needed to hear that. You're welcome. Oh, I think I have a success story today. I wanted to get coffee today from a cafe I like and woke up and thought about it. Then my aunt Had to go and said, "Do you want coffee?" And I got it. Look at you. Look at you saying you don't know how to manifest shit and you're confused. And so the way that you manifested that and how your brain worked to get you that, use that to start applying it to bigger things that you want to manifest. Manifestation is all the same. It's all your thoughts. Where it seems and is different is the things that feel bigger, you have more other shit playing in the back of your head about why it won't happen and this and that and the other thing. But it's all the same when what happens up here. Yes, we are master manifestors. Yay. It helps when we hear all the success stories. I agree. Congratulations. That's definitely a success story. I fucking agree. That's awesome. I feel like a lot of times it's easier to manifest small stuff. Nope. That's a story. Those are shitty thoughts that you need to let go. It's easy to manifest anything I want. I feel like it's easier to manifest small stuff and other stuff like my dream life because it feels so surreal. Well, then you need to bring it back and stop going for. I always use the example of marriage. If you're fucking single and it's too hard for you to imagine being married, then imagine meeting somebody or texting with somebody all the time. Do it like a neighboring reality, something that's getting you closer to where you want to go, but you've got to drop it's hard for me to get my dream life. I can't have my dream life. It's surreal. It's too good to be true. That shit's got to go. I know all manifestation is the same, but I can't understand that, it's choice. And you need to tell yourself, I know exactly what I'm doing. I get everything I want. This is so easy for me. Affirm everything is the same to manifest. Exactly. That's what I used in the beginning. That's a good one. And it is. The thing that's different is you have all this other bullshit that comes up that makes it seem hard. And then you're telling yourself it's hard and it's not working. And you're creating your own loop of it not working because of what you're focusing on. Everything is easy for me to manifest. I always get what I want. Imagine we could feel when we shift realities, we would all lose it. Listen, I felt myself shift one day. I did feel it. And it was fucking wild. And it was over something that in the scheme of life did not matter. I was at I've told this story, but I was at the grocery store and I was happy and minding my business. Yes, tell us. Oh my God, I'm telling you. I was minding my business, happy at the grocery store, just like, doing my shopping. And I go to the front of the store and there was a line. And all of a sudden I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to wait in line. And just was like total mood shift instantly into this total victim state. And I fucking felt it. And then I was walking and I reminded myself, I was like, bitch, you're God. Why are you going to let a little line at the fucking grocery store ruin your fucking day? So I started affirming, there's no line, there's no line, there's no line, and literally felt myself. It was like somebody like pushed me like a little bit like that. Automatically my mood shifted. I still had the thoughts of, but what if there's a line, and just chose there's not going to be a fucking line. And guess what? This long line at the grocery store, the last person was walking out the door as I went to buy my groceries. Like a dizzy feeling. It wasn't even that big of a feeling. It was just such a shift in my awareness and just how I felt. I went from feeling like, oh my God, I'm such a victim, to I have all the power, I'm getting what I want. It was like, I don't know how else to explain it, but I did feel it and it was something else. I have a success story. Woohoo! I saw that you had it down here. I affirmed I always get random money, and a coworker gave me a gift card to a local coffee shop. It had like $15. Nice. That is fucking awesome. Elisa, look at you. See, you're proof. All the success stories. We have so many success stories on my lives. It's fucking awesome. Manifesting is so easy for me. Everything, whoops, is the same to manifest. I'm so amazing. See, you got this. You got this. And when you want to tell yourself that that shit's not true, you're going to remind yourself who you are and you are going to bring it back to those statements right there. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. You're the only manifestation channel that actually causes me to see this shit is real. Aw, like simply making the choice, life changes. Life changing. Thank you. You are welcome. That's why I wanted to get on here and share my experience because I'm like, so many people make this shit so complicated. And if we just spoke in plain fucking English about it, maybe more people would understand. That's awesome. It is awesome. Eliza, it's fucking awesome. You're 15 bucks. Every single part of our lives is a manifestation. Agreed. Even claiming you're sad is you selecting, even claiming you're sad is you selecting a reality where you are sad. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep. By the way, not promoting toxic positivity. Yeah, for sure. I know that, like, oh my God, you can't just be positive all the time. And it's like, listen, I have my fucking moments and I will let myself cry and I will let myself get angry and I will feel my fucking feelings. But up here, I'm still affirming because that's what works for me. Feel your feelings, but affirm. Exactly that. Exactly that. When it is your thoughts that are going to create your reality, and I know this from experience. I've talked about this before. When my law of attraction coach was all about, you know, your feelings are what manifests, and you want to feel happy and, you know, whatever feelings you would feel if you had what you want, but, you know, being angry and being sad, those feelings don't manifest, which right there should have been a fucking red flag that that's a bunch of bullshit. Like, explain that one to me. But their go-to when things weren't working out was, oh, well, you need to feel your feelings. So I was on an emotional roller coaster feeling my fucking feelings, thinking that there must be something I haven't felt that I need to feel in order to get my manifestations to work. The thing that helped me break that habit and break that cycle was affirming when I wasn't feeling my best. And if you can't give yourself 15 minutes, if you can't give yourself 15 minutes and let it out, abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. We are humans. We are having a human experience. Your feelings are valid. You are allowed to feel them. It is okay. It's okay. Even if you have a day or two where you're like, man, shit was not good and but now I'm back and here we go. You can, if it really bothers you, revise it and tell yourself it never happened. Wait, I can manifest anything even if it seems impossible? It's only impossible because you're telling yourself it's impossible. This is the best channel. You explain everything so well. Oh, thank you, H. Bell. Imagine if millions became sad, they would lose all their money. That conception, that that conception that feelings manifest is absolutely ridiculous. I fucking agree. And I couldn't understand it. Like I couldn't, it's like, man, I'm feeling good. Why aren't things different? And again, like I said, it never really occurred to me to question, okay, but like my bad feelings don't manifest, but my good ones do. Like, what? When I realized it's this, currently 111, of course it is. It's 7-11 here, and that's Jax's birthday, and fucking at least once a day, if not twice a day, I see 7-11 on my clock. Moons had to get my attention to the time on my clock. But yeah, in my experience, your feelings don't manifest. It's what you're focused on and what you're telling yourself that does. I'm seeing angel numbers everywhere. They're everywhere. "888." I was just That's funny that you would put that. I was just thinking about when I first started seeing repeating numbers. It was when I was working at the restaurant and I started seeing 8 everywhere and it fucking annoyed me and freaked me out, but also was like, "Oh, I guess something's working," and was just another added to the list of signs that I manifested during that time. But angel numbers only mean what we assign it. Exactly. Exactly. Same with dreams. I get a lot of people ask me, well, what do dreams mean? It's like dreams mean whatever the fuck you think they mean. I actually took a class on lucid dreaming, and the guy who taught it was talking about dreams, and he's like, if you really want to like learn about yourself through dreams, he's like, write down the dream and then what does all that shit in the dream mean? Then that's what it means. And I'm like, I like that. Don't go looking for other people's opinions on what you mean in your own reality. Has nothing to do with manifesting. Yeah, I agree. I always see 11 and 99 all the time, one after the other. That's funny. I dream a lot about manifestations before it happens in my physical world. Not all manifestations. It was actually really interesting that I like taking classes on Mind Valley, but sometimes you get those dreams telling you. I took their Mind Valley has a lucid dreaming class, and I took that class, and it actually helped me learn how to manifest, not like the lucid dreaming part, but part of what they're like, if you don't remember your dreams very often, which is me, I had a belief that I never remember my dreams. So they're like, you need to start telling yourself before you fall, like as you're falling asleep at night, I always remember my dreams. And I started to remember my dreams. And I was like, oh, that's how manifestation works. Like, that's all you're doing is changing you to being the person who remembers your dreams. And then you do. And it did not take long for that shift to start happening. I take it as a good sign that my affirmations have impressed my subconscious. See? Put good meaning to everything. See things in a beneficial way. Things are working out for me. I always remember my dreams. I literally was always like, I never remember my dreams. I don't think I dream. Not realize I was affirming that, and that's what that's why I experienced that. And then I changed that affirmation, and then I started remembering them. And then I stopped caring if I remembered them, so I'm like, whatever. But I know that if I want to remember them, I know how to do that now. I think that stemmed from childhood. I think I used to have really like bad nightmares, and I probably started just telling myself I never dream as a way to like make that go away. I dream so vividly that it alters my mood in the morning. Whoa. That's intense. And that's what I'm not lucid dreaming. Wow. That's some intense dreaming. So do you ever use I've talked about where I've used when I have memories of the past and I'm like, yeah, I don't want that to have been true, I just tell myself that was a nightmare, it wasn't real. I always affirm anyway. Hell yeah. Totally random, but could I manifest $1 million and wake up in my dream life? Laugh out loud. You can definitely manifest $1 million. Where it comes to waking up in your dream life, do you mean like waking up in a different house than you are in right now? Can you have everything unfold in front of you? Yes. Is everything possible? Yes. Could that happen? Yes. But you have to remember, like I talked about shifting a reality and feeling it, and it was very jarring. If you just woke up in a completely different life and were like married and had kids and like everything you've ever wanted just fell into your lap, could you psychologically handle that? Because we are functioning on Earth. But all of that is possible. I'm living my dream life. I'm living my dream life. I'm living my dream life. Living my dream life. It's like, isn't it wonderful? Telling yourself that that is already true. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I figured you probably did. Dreams aren't real unless you assign that meaning. I completely agree. How's Jax doing since his back healed? I hope I spelled his name right, but I apologize if I didn't. Oh, you did spell his name right. He is doing absolutely amazing. Thanks for asking, Tiffany. He is walking. I've noticed that his one leg seems to be a little stiff on him still, but I think it's because he's laying weird and like when he first gets up, it's like asleep. But he is doing so fucking good. Thank you for asking. A natural bridge of incidents will occur. We would go crazy. I fucking agree. I agree. Now, the more that you get good at manifesting and the crazier things you manifest, do I think that things can show up in crazier and crazier ways? Yeah. But I have had people like I want to have lived in another country the past year thinking that they're going to revise it and like wake up in that country. It's like if that actually happened, you would probably go insane. Things will fucking unfold so naturally that you are going to question if it was even a manifestation. I've had things that were like instant manifestations. I talk about, I mean, Jax's back was kind of one of them. Precious, my other dog, had one where I took her to the vet with this big lump on her neck that had been there for fucking months. The vet tech saw it, felt it, took Precious in, and the vet calls me and goes, "Where's that lump on her neck?" And it was like such a surreal fucking crazy experience. Like I cannot imagine actually waking up somewhere else in a different life and not losing your fucking shit. But you can get anything that you want. It's focusing on having it as if it is real as you're in your imagination and allowing it to unfold you to get there. And it does not have to take a long time. It's all based on your belief systems. How you view the world is how you experience life. I agree, it can happen in a ridiculous, crazy, mind boggling way, but the subconscious mind is built to keep you safe, so most likely it will happen naturally in a way your mind can conceptualize. I agree. That's been my experience. And you're gonna fucking question it. It's gonna happen so naturally that you're gonna be like, did I really manifest that? Am I really that powerful that I could create this, or would it have happened anyway? The way you question that about like small manifestations, you're going to have that with big ones too. Again, there's nothing big or small, all manifestation is the same, but that feeling of would it have happened anyway is very fucking real and happens quite a bit. But you can tell yourself things happen in a magical way. Things happen in a magical way. Things can happen so quickly because things happen in magical ways. But if you are like, I want to wake up in, if you decide tonight, I'm going to wake up in my dream reality tomorrow and decide that you are in your dream reality and just remind yourself you're in your dream reality, things will unfold to prove you're right. And that's where you have to ignore the 3D. You can't wake up in the morning and be like, nothing changed. It doesn't work. Guess what? You're right. And what are you focusing on? If you're bored of things happening in a natural way, but then again, it doesn't matter because we are still getting what we want. Exactly. Exactly. If you are going to have the experience of having exactly what you want, once you have it, do you really fucking care how you got it? Does it matter that it took longer than you wanted it to, or that it didn't come exactly the way you thought it would, or that you wanted it to? Like, does it? In my opinion, it doesn't. Like I was saying at the beginning of this live, I wanted to start going live on TikTok thinking I needed 1,000 subscribers over there, and I don't have that, and now I get to go live anyway, and do I fucking care about that I don't have those subscribers? No. I got what I fucking wanted. My personal view. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't care anymore. I just want what I want. I want what I want, and I will tell you, I've spoken on this somewhat recently. I never understood what Neville was talking about, the Sabbath of just like being content and knowing it's done. And I get that now. I have so many things that I have been working on my mindset on for a long time where now I'm just like, I don't even fucking care if it shows up. And I so naturally affirm for it and think of it as if without having to do anything else. Normally, I would say that time doesn't matter as long as I get what I want, but I have one manifestation in particular I've been working on for 4 years. Well, you're not working on it anymore. You have it. It's done. It finally happened. It's done. It finally happened. It ended up being the easiest thing for you to manifest. It changed overnight. Ooh, I can change my appearance. I feel like it'll boost my confidence. Boost my confidence a lot. I am so confident and I am beautiful, handsome, sexy, amazing, however you word that. Yes, you can change your appearance. Imagine you want kids and wake up in a different house with a strange husband and kids. I've thought about that. I have fucking thought about that. It's like, that would be terrifying. Straight to the mental institution it is. God forbid. Like, that's how I, like, truly think about that. Truly fucking think about that. I know there's, like, movies about it, like, things like that happening, but, like, do you really want to experience that? Is that really what you want? Truly. If you want to be married with kids, do you really just want to wake up and that be your life? And not know how you met your spouse, or not be there when your kids are born, or not even know your fucking children, and they're like, these are your kids, and you're like, the what now? Yeah, hell no. I agree. Like, that would be fucking terrifying. And I don't think, like, I have done crazy shit in my life and had crazy things happen in my life, and I don't think I could keep myself sane, where a lot of people who really know me and know my life are like, how the fuck are you still sane? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I could keep that and be sane after that. And you don't know your husband and kids. Exactly. You just wake up and it's like, yeah, I'm your child. It's like, you're my what now? No. I'm mentally strong, but I couldn't. Yeah, I agree. I fucking agree. And now we're married. Like, who fucking are you? Why? I guess you must be a good person because some version of me married you. Like, you're really just like, nope. Life is experiencing the steps. I agree. And it can happen quickly, you guys. Things can change so fucking fast. I don't think I'd be able to handle that either. I just want my dream life to be like unfolding naturally. There you go. Yeah. But then the way you can do that, you can literally use, if you've ever heard the success story in, and you see pictures of you moons, oh my God. If I hadn't lost my shit yet, walking through the house and like seeing pictures of me with the kids and the husband at the wedding, like that would be the thing that would push me over the edge. Be like, what? Who gave me what? Like, what have I taken? um, but yeah, for your dream life, have you ever heard the story in one of Neville's books about the woman who used "Isn't It Wonderful"? I've read it on one of the lives. I think I read it in a video, but she opens up her success story that's in one of Neville's books with, I didn't believe fairy tales were real. I thought they were just for kids, but I am not a child and they are definitely real. And she just focused on things being wonderful. Isn't it wonderful? Something amazing or something marvelous is happening now. That's what she would just focus on. And her entire life, she went from needing everything and wanting everything in her life to change to getting it all to change and changing very quickly. I see my specific person every day and we're getting closer. Abso-fucking-lutely you are. You see, you talk with them all the fucking time. All they want to do is talk to you. All they want to do is talk to you. All day, every day. Tiffany. They talk to you all the time, constantly. They want to spend all their time with you. They hate it when they don't get to see you. It's the worst. They send you all these sad emojis and you're like, wow. They really like spending time with me. And they're really sad right now. Look at all those sad emojis that they sent me. They need to tone it down just a little bit. Yeah, you can use, if you don't want to go and affirm for like every little thing in your life, you can use more general affirmations. Everything in my life is perfect. Isn't it wonderful? I'm in my dream reality. I'm living my dream life. You know what all of that entails, even if you're not super clear on it. Your subconscious, if you're telling yourself that things are wonderful, wonderful things will manifest that make you go, oh my God, this is so wonderful. Starting right now, I'm actually going to always be in control and getting success stories every day. There you go. There you go. And just bring yourself back to that. That's it. Because your brain is used to thinking old shit. So when it comes up and you're like, oh, but I always get what I want. I get success stories every day. I'm always in control. The end. That is what is now true. One of my main self-concept affirmations is everyone and everything is me pushed out. That reminder, it's important. You're the operant power and you're in control and no one can take anything from you. Exactly, Moons. And it truly is just about reminding yourself that. Reminding yourself. That's what ignoring the 3D, ignoring, coming back to this. Everything works out in my favor. I always get what I want. This always works for me. I'm so good at it. Yep. Yep. Yes, everything in my works in my favor. I use it when I don't know what to affirm. Yeah, I use Isn't It Wonderful. I call it my safety net affirmation. When shit goes down and I don't know what else to affirm, I'm going to go to Isn't It Wonderful. And it really changed so much for me. This has been a long time, but I used to have panic attacks. And the first time I went to therapy, um my therapist had me read a book. It's called like the anxiety and phobia workbook or something. I don't know, but I read this book about like anxiety, and it talked about panic attacks. And part of what I talked about either in the book or with my therapist about panic attacks, they're like part of why panic attacks get worse for people is one, they don't know that's what they're having, but the fear of having a panic attack makes people have more panic attacks and makes them worse. And for me, like knowing that helped me get over my panic attacks. And I feel like the same thing happened for me with Isn't It Wonderful, and having that go-to affirmation of no matter what is happening around me, I know I can go to Isn't It Wonderful. And it has helped me deal more with the 3D and deal more with my mindset, because no matter what life throws at me, I got this. I don't have to come up with an affirmation when something isn't it wonderful? 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 And like I said, if you're focusing on things being wonderful, the shitty things that are happening aren't going to turn out to be as bad as you're thinking they are in the moment. And it gets easier and easier, I promise you. I know when you're starting, it doesn't seem like it will, but like I remember, it's weird because I don't remember how long this took. I just remember waking up one morning and noticing that I was just thinking all of my affirmations, and it was like jarring. I was like, that's not normal. Like, what? And it's like, wait a minute, those are all my affirmations. Holy shit. And now, like I said, the old thoughts I used to think are as foreign to me as my affirmations. And they'll sometimes pop in my head. Sometimes something will happen. I'll be like, I hate my life. And I'll be like, no, that's literally stupid. I'm not saying that anymore. No. Reality has to prove you right. Agree, Sonia. It always does. If something bad happens and you tell yourself everything works out in my favor, that it will, no matter what, no matter how bad the situation is. I agree. That's where, for me, telling myself that whatever I'm experiencing is the bridge of incidents, somehow this is leading me where I want to go, has helped me a lot. I love how I came here looking for answers to being super excited and motivated, laugh out loud. I love the energy here. Yay! I love that. That's awesome. I'm probably going to pronounce your name wrong. Zeldy Tone? I'm so glad you found me. I'm so glad this shit's helpful. Like I said, I've been on a journey to understand manifesting and get good at manifesting, so that I can help other people. Is like, I love that. Agree. Sonia has limitless energy. Yay. I have limitless energy. I'm gonna remember that next time I don't feel like I have energy. Be like, Moon's told me I have limitless energy. It better show the fuck up. I also see, this is where I'm like, everything happens. I believe everything happens for a reason, right? Everything, not in like divine timing, but I've always wanted to help people. I always felt like I came to Earth to live a life and make a difference. I never understood what that meant, but now getting where I am now, having gone through all the shit I went through, if I wouldn't have been in a law of attraction cult for over 3 years and been in all the limiting beliefs and taking on parts of somebody else's belief system that weren't even beneficial to me or that I didn't even really like, but thinking that that's how you manifest, and then getting out of that and working through all of that and bringing myself to where I am now. I know that I went through all of that so that I could better understand and so that I could help more people. Like, this is what I want to do, and I know that it can really help people. Yes, you pronounced it right. Yay. My name is Zelda, like the game. So my nickname is Zeldy. Oh, got you. Great bicep moons, and yes, as Zeldy Tone, it's wonderful here. I love that. I mean, your energy in words would be, I make the impossible happen. That's funny. So I don't know. I'm not super into anime, but I have watched a few. And one of the ones that I watched, my brother's recommendation when I was at my absolute fucking lowest, when I quit grooming and everything was just shit, and like I didn't know what to do with myself, and I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, and it was literally my darkest hour. My brother's like, "Watch this show called Gurren Lagann." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess." And it's about, it's a, giant robot anime, but it's about humans had been forced to live underground for so long that they forgot that the surface exists. And this like kid and this guy are like, no, we're gonna make it to the surface, and then things happen. They end up finding out that there are like these beast men keeping the humans trapped underground. And one of the like catchphrases of the guy who's like, no, we're gonna make it to the surface, is make the impossible possible and kick reason to the curb. And I think that quite a bit. I live in government housing and he can't live with me here. I'm looking for a job and can't afford to move. I try not to think about it too much because it makes me sad. I love living with my boyfriend. I love living with my boyfriend. You need to start focusing on that you guys are happy together and that you have the money to be where you want to be. Yeah, like Moon said, circumstances don't matter. That's all circumstances. All of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. Focus on, we're together, we are happy, and I love my place. Because you're trying to figure out the how. Like, well, I have to have a job in order for me to have a place, and it does not have to be that bad. It does not have to be that way. I guess I just reflected that back to you, Sonia. Focus on having what you want and let the rest go. That's how you successfully get shit to manifest. None of that matters. If you are happy together and you're a happy relationship and you're living together, if that's what you want, then none of that shit matters. Because it's no longer true. I have heard so many fucking stories of people manifesting places to live and not needing money to live there, not having a job and getting a place to live. Having a place to live and having a job do not go hand in hand unless you tell yourself that they do. And if you want a job, I love my job. I found the most amazing job. It still feels like all this is surreal, but I'm determined. Yeah, it's gonna feel surreal because your brain's not familiar with it. And your brain's gonna throw at you all of your old shit because that's what you're used to thinking. Those are the neural pathways you're used to using. You're literally going to change your brain by starting to tell yourself something different. But by repeatedly telling yourself something different, you will create new neural pathways, and those are the neural pathways that your brain will start to naturally use. I used to be like that. I used to think manifestation was too good to be true. Me too. Me too. But once you realize what you're actually doing and you realize you've been doing it your whole life and that it's just the way you choose to think about things, the more you manifest and you're like, that was a manifestation and that's how I did it. And Moons and I have had many conversations on here about how this is a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle to choose to view the world the way that you want it to be. It is a lifestyle to control your thoughts, basically. Because a lot of people don't talk about this, but you've always been manifesting, right? You're always going to be manifesting. When you manifest the shit you want, you don't get to stop thinking thoughts in alignment. I hate that, but you don't get to you don't get to stop telling yourself that you things are good and going the way you want them to. So you manifest SP, and then they do something that pisses you off. And then you spiral and start thinking about how much you don't like them and how much you hate them, and then they fucking leave. You're manifesting that. Now, you will get better at controlling your thoughts and focusing on the way you want things to be, but if you get into that situation and allow it all to go to hell, guess what? You manifested that. Yep, it's a lifestyle, and having a limitless mindset opens you to wonders that you didn't think was possible, and no, it isn't too good to be true. I agree. And I also feel like it is a journey and it is like layers of an onion. The more you do it and the more you see it and the more you become aware of what you're thinking, you're going to catch more shit and you're going to find that it's easier to let things go and you're going to find what works for you. And it just becomes natural. Like, I cannot fucking imagine going back to thinking the shitty thoughts I used to think. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do it because I know where that leads and I know how it makes me feel and I know the experiences that I'm going to have as a result from it. Mindset is what recreates your physical reality. Yes, and the better you get, I get. What? Yes, and the better you get. Yes, you do. You get better and better. Me too. It's a discipline. It's a practice. So appearance change is a thing, but what about like body? Do I like visualize and go about my day that I have it? It's all just the same. And with money and everything else too, I think I'm getting it. Yes, it's all how you view it. All of it. Do you like to visualize? Then visualize. Do you not like to visualize? Then don't visualize. Do you like to script? Then script. Do you like to just affirm? Big thing I was talking about earlier on this live with appearance changes is you need to tell yourself when you see yourself in the mirror that you look the way you want to look. I got a taste of changing my mindset and never went back. It's impossible for me to ever go back. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I literally don't even think I could go back. Like, the amount of effort I would have to put into robotically affirming shitty thoughts. No. Mm-mm. Not happening. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And your mind controls your body. Like, somebody asked me about healing yourself. You can heal just like we were talking about, I never get sick. Like, if you get sick, I healed my dog's back by telling myself that he was healed. Everything is a reflection of what you tell yourself. No way. I don't know how I survived. I mentioned this before. Yeah, I don't either. The way I used to think, oh my god, I can never go back. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So much of my life, I did not want to be alive. Like, I hated to be alive. And those kind of thoughts don't even cross my mind anymore. And I'm not going back to that. If a bad thought comes up, I correct it. Exactly that. Like I said, I'll sometimes, my default was I hate my life, everything sucks. Oh my God, I hate this. Everything sucks. And stupid things will happen. And I mean stupid things. And I'll be like, oh my God, I hate my life. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened in here? I don't think so. Nope. I hardly think negative now. Yep. And I don't pay as much attention to my thoughts anymore because I know things are good. I pay more attention to my body. If I start feeling off, if I start feeling like crap, that's when I go up here, what's happening? Because your emotions are a manifestation of what you're thinking and what you're focused on. Redirect back to affirmations. That's what I do. Yep. And I don't even have necessarily like set affirmations all the time anymore. It's automatic at this point. Yeah, it is. It is how I function in the world now without even thinking about it. Like, it would be hard to go back because I have changed my brain so much. But now I can come up with affirmations on the spot. When I first started, I couldn't do that. I could not do that. I would catch thoughts and be like, I don't want this, but I don't know what to think otherwise. So that's where having set affirmations was really helpful. That's where Isn't It Wonderful as my safety net affirmation was extremely helpful. But now I catch myself thinking something and I'm like, and I'll just shift it to something else. It literally is how I function in the world. All day, every day. My brain is definitely different now. Mine too. When I talk about this when I started telling myself I'm perfect because I was tired of trying to like fix my self concept and focus on all the things I wanted to change about myself. I had a fucking list. I had pages of affirmations with everything I wanted to change in my life. And then I was like, what if I just start telling myself I'm perfect? And I was like, I can't tell myself that. That's wrong. You can't just think that. I had a similar thing when I started telling myself I have full control of my thoughts. How could you possibly have full control of your thoughts? That can't possibly be a thing. And then I decided to do it anyway. And both of those affirmations have changed so much in my life. The feelings and behaviors change too. Yes, they do. Everything comes from the brain. I agree. I agree. Everything you are perceiving goes through your brain. Even like things that you're touching is attached to your brain. My brain is my best friend. That's a fun affirmation. I love that. Oh, my brain has both been my worst enemy and my best friend. I tell myself I am safe. That's another good affirmation. I used to be such a depressed, anxious, worried, miserable disaster area. It was hard for me to see the good in fucking anything. But I never gave up on manifesting, even when it wasn't working and I didn't understand. I had to understand. I'm like, I'm gonna figure this the fuck out. And eventually I did. But I had to big time get out of my own fucking way. My whole brain just thinks affirmations now. Mine too. What about if I easily get triggered? Stop telling yourself you easily get triggered. Should I affirm against it? Uh, I never get triggered. I never get triggered. I have full control of everything. A lot of times I feel like a victim, even though I know I'm the operant power. That's when you need to remind yourself that you're the operant power. Stop telling yourself you're a victim. I just want my stuff at the end of the day. So let go of all that shit and focus on having what you want. I've had people who are so focused on that they are going to get triggered that they manifest getting triggered constantly. That's where having like that safety net affirmation, if you don't want to use isn't wonderful, that's fine. But having something that so when something happens, you're ready to go is gonna help you stop having those experiences. How can I start releasing limiting beliefs? By choosing to think different thoughts. When you catch something that is limiting or that you don't like, you don't sit there and label it and be like, oh my God, all these limiting beliefs. First of all, stop telling yourself you have limiting beliefs. And when you catch yourself thinking things that you don't like and you don't want, you start telling yourself that things are the way you want them to be. That's also why I spill so I spill so much affirmations because that's what I think the majority of the time. For people who are mentally weak, affirm I am mentally strong. Yup. You will shift into a reality where you are mentally strong. Absolutely, you will. hmm I literally thought that so much of the things I was experiencing, I just had to learn to deal with. And that was just who I am and what my experience was. And now that's not true. There are infinite versions of us. Definitely. Definitely. I felt like there was so much to fix and there was so much wrong with me and that my brain was so out of control and that I couldn't do this and I can't focus and I don't know what to affirm and I'm not good at this and I think I'm just always gonna have to deal with depression and this is always none of that shit's true anymore. None of it. I am peaceful, I am calm, I am happy. I wake up in the morning and I'm happy and excited. I fucking love my life. It's just a version of us we kept selecting with our thoughts and become familiar with. Exactly. What you are experiencing right now is because you unknowingly chose to focus on it and accepted it as who you are and how things are. And as long as you continue to focus on that, you're going to get more of it. And when you focus on something different, it is weird because you're not used to telling yourself that. And there's nothing happening to be like, yeah, that's a real thing and that's possible. That's where the faith comes in. When Neville Goddard talks about faith, the faith that if I do this, it's going to work, and you just keep doing it. And the more you focus on just doing it and the more you see it happen, the more it becomes your belief system and what you're doing. But like I said, it's a choice. At the end of the day, it's a choice how you're going to view things. There's no original version. Sound wrong, but I think you get what I mean. No original version sound wrong. It's only one of us, aka our soul, our one soul. Yeah. Yeah, it's the person that you think you are, your identity, all the things that have happened to you that it's like, oh, well, I'm like this because this happened, or I'm like that because of this, or this happened, and then this is how I feel in the world. None of that's real. None of it's important. The reason it continues to keep you being the person that you think you are is because that's what you think. Revision, you can change the past. You can decide that major things that happened to you in your life that shaped you to be like this just aren't important. It never mattered. And that's not what I took from it. It's a choice. It is a choice. I don't want people to get confused thinking that there's many of them. Yeah, it's like the infinite realities. There's a version of you that's confident. How do you become the confident version of you? By telling yourself you're the confident version of you and that you're confident. That's how you change you to being the confident version of you. Speaking from experience. I manifested healing a bone. I had trouble getting around in the boot from the doctor. I switched to an air cast. I've Decided it's healing my ankle and every day it gets better. See, there you go. That's the mindset. Exactly. It's healed. It healed so fast. Look at that. Your foot's healed. You have the money in the bank. You have your dream house. You have your perfect relationship. Everything in your life is perfect, Tiffany. I remember when I healed my swelling in my finger in less than 4 hours. That's awesome. I remember affirming that my swelling is gone and happened so fast. Being blinded in a walking boot is not a good combo. I was determined to find some way to get around. There you go. Focus on I get around so easily, right? I was just chilling on my phone and I looked at my finger and it was gone. That's so funny. I have this belief when if I waver or spiral, I have to start again. That has to fucking go. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you move the fuck on. So when I wake up, I get sad because I don't see what I want. I try to focus on positive stuff and outcomes. I know I can do this though. Yeah, I used to do that shit too. I used to fucking do that shit too. I actually have a video about it. I was like, I used to think that manifestations had business hours and I'd wake up in the morning and feel really good and come like 3 o'clock, nothing changed. And I was like, oh my God, another day that it didn't work. That has to go. That is a bad fucking habit and it has to go. It has to fucking go. Things are the way you want them to be right now. There's nothing standing in your way of having it. You can imagine it in your head right now. The more that you imagine that that's how things are and tell yourself that things are that way, the faster shit will change. I only affirmed one time. Those are the best. And I will tell you, I affirm a lot fucking less than I used to because I am good at staying on top of my mental diet. I didn't believe it would happen. That's why it happened so fast. That was the same with Jax's back. I was really affirming he's better, he's better, he's better. Took him to the second vet, got different medication, and was like, it's gonna be like 3 weeks before we know if he can walk. And I just fucking dropped it. I was content to just spend time with my dog and, do what needed to get done. And then the next thing he's fucking walking. We don't need to believe our affirmations. Absolutely no, you don't. It will still happen as long as we consistently think it. Yeah. And it's not about consistently thinking it like, oh my God, I thought against it. I'm starting over. It's not like that. I promise. It's how long are you staying in the state of having what you want versus bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining about how you don't have what you want. Because that's a state. Focusing on how much you hate everything is a state. I mean, every time we think about it. Yeah. When you think about what thing you're manifesting, think about it as much as possible as being the way that you want it to be, and there is nothing standing in your way of having it because you already have it. This is what Abdullah was teaching Neville. You are in Barbados. If you are in Barbados, you are not worried about how you got there. If you are healed, you're not worried about healing. If you are in your house, you aren't worried about how you got your house. If you have your relationship, you aren't worried about how you got there. You have it. It's yours right now. It's been months, so I'm like, okay. Does it take a while? Which is why I get so discouraged. Laugh out loud. I still think about my desires positively when I remember or after I spiral and know I can do better. You're doing it perfectly. You know exactly what you're doing. That goes back to you needing to tell yourself, I know exactly what the fuck is happening or exactly what I'm doing. This always works for me. You're mindset around how manifestation works is manifesting. And you have a very, I don't know if it works, and maybe it doesn't work, and maybe I'm not doing it good enough. I couldn't possibly be doing it good enough. I would look at your self concept of, I am enough, I am worthy, I am deserving, I get everything I want, and I fucking deserve to have it. Because that shit's manifesting too. And the fact that it's been months, it hasn't been months because you haven't been manifesting. You said earlier that you were confused and you didn't understand. So you're starting fucking right now. You are entering the state right now. You're making the decision right now that you are now in your dream reality. Now you know exactly what you're doing and how to do it. And you're going to fucking do it to the best of your ability. And it's going to be perfect. And it's going to happen so fast. Because as long as you hold on to the rest of that shit, guess what? You're going to keep manifesting. Facts. I've heard some coaches say that you can't affirm in future tense. That's bullshit. The way you think right now, manifest. As long as you are thinking about things as the way you want them to be, the tense doesn't matter. Those are some bullshit limiting rules that you can throw out the fucking window. I've had less resistance to knowing something will happen than telling myself it has happened when I don't have it yet. That's fine. As long as you are focused on, like, a vacation. If you plan a vacation, you know you're going on vacation even though it's not here yet. And you're thinking the thoughts about how that vacation is a set in stone thing. The tense of your affirmations doesn't matter. You can turn them into ask-formations if that feels better to you. Why is he so in love with me? Why do I love my house so much? But you're still thinking from the reality in which you have what you want. That's the difference. Sonia, I just realized your name is spelled with a J instead of an I a few days ago. I could have sworn on YouTube channel it was spelled with an I. No, it's spelled with a J. The wording of your affirmations does not matter, you guys. It doesn't. As long as you are thinking from the reality, meaning things are going to be or are the way I want them to be, instead of bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining. That's the difference that you have to be focused on. Am I sitting here and complaining about that I don't get what I want and things aren't the way I want them to be and I don't know what I'm doing and this is impossible in that circumstance? Or am I telling myself in whatever fucking way I'm getting what I want, I have what I want? That. Does that make sense? Like, the wording does not fucking matter. Don't get caught up on the wording. I was so caught up on the goddamn wording from my law of attraction days. The universe doesn't understand certain words. You can't say I don't have any debt because you said the word don't and the universe doesn't understand that. And you said the word debt, so you're focused on having debt and you're gonna get more debt. No. Thanks for clearing that up. You are welcome. Divine timing. Yeah, that one do. Oh, well, you gotta wait on the divine timing. If it's meant to be, it'll be. No. The universe is testing you. Interestingly enough, my coach did not use that one, but I've heard that one from a lot of people. You're just being tested. Do you really want it or not? It's a choice. Are you going to think about things in a way that's beneficial to you and is telling you that you're going to have what you want? Or are you bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining? It's that simple. Nothing is testing you, only you. Exactly that. That's it. Because you are God, you are the universe, you are the one creating it. You know what you mean. If you say I don't have debt, you know what you mean. You know what you mean. You don't mean I want more debt. Like, Some people make the law of attraction so complicated. It's too woo-woo for my taste. There's so many fucking rules and limiting crap in law of attraction. It's fucking wild. You are the only thinker. Exactly that, Moons. Exactly fucking that. Man, when I first found, it's been 2 years now since I found Law of Assumption. And I was very much in my law of attraction cult days. And when I first found it, I found somebody on TikTok talking about manifesting SPs, and it just like I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't comprehend it because there was so many rules and limitations that I had bought into from law of attraction. It took me a while to like fully grasp what was actually happening. Because your thoughts create, nothing can stop it except you. Exactly that. If you tell yourself, oh my God, I'm being tested, you're fucking right, you are, but you're the one who's telling yourself that. So you're the one creating it, meaning you're the only thinker, meaning it's you. And once you realize that, like I said, you realize it more and more. It's like an onion. The more you see it, the more you experience it, the more you start to question things. I just did a TikTok video recently about somebody commented, they're like, you really start to question all of your beliefs because I mentioned that in a video. And I'm like, yeah, you start to question fucking everything. When you realize you're the only thinker and there's nothing and no one other than you deciding how things are and how they're going to be, you start to question everything. No one is in your brain controlling what you are thinking. Exactly. Accept yourself. Free yourself, guys. Absolutely. That's it. You can accept or reject any thought that you have. You can think whatever thought you want to, even the ones that feel like impossible, quote unquote impossible. I control my thoughts. I never spiral. I never waver. Those are things that seem fucking impossible, but I promise you, if you start telling yourself that, you will start to experience that. If you can always waver and constantly be getting triggered and everything's always a problem, then everything can be perfect and work in your favor. Because I was the fucking bitch who nothing ever went their way and was always in a victim state about everything. And if everything can always suck, everything can always be good. The whole world is us pushed out. Exactly. Whatever we tell ourselves consistently is true. That. Don't get stressed out about random thoughts. Don't get stressed out about spending some time thinking against your shit. It's fine. You're human. It's going to work out. The only person who can decide it's not working and that you're doing it wrong is you. When an unfavorable thought or old story comes up, hopefully I'm still on here, you guys, but I'm going to have to get off soon because my battery is about to die. When an unfavorable thought or old story comes up, can I just say that never happened, or do I have to do something else? You can do, that's fine. That's not real. That's not real. The big thing is just bring your focus back to, you don't have, if you have to say something to stop it, you can, but you don't even have to do that. You just shift your focus back to what you want to be true. But that's where you need to do what's best for you. Something that really helped me in my law of attraction days was telling myself delete, like delete. I don't like that thought, delete. The problem is I wasn't feeding myself anything new after that. So if you need to do something to stop yourself, you can, but that's going to be unique to you and what works best for you. Again, experiment. There's no wrong way to do this. The only way to do it wrong is to be telling yourself shit you don't want to be true and bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining. My neighbor's dog never quits barking. I thought about manifesting for him to stop barking. It's so annoying. Why not? My neighbor's dog never barks. He's so quiet. That dog's so quiet. He's so quiet. He's so quiet. Yeah, you can. I completely agree. Abso-fucking-lutely. Any last questions tonight? I am going to have to get off of here because my phone is about to die. It is extremely easy to do that. I agree. Oh my God, the neighbor's dog is so quiet. I love my new place and the neighbors don't even have any dogs. It's so quiet here. All right, guys, last call for questions, and I'm gonna get off of here for tonight. Um, I will be live again Saturday morning. Bye, Moons. I'll be back on here Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I can go live on TikTok now, and I'm going to be going live on there tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time with my friend Sheila. We're going to go hang out on TikTok. I'll probably go live on TikTok more. I don't know when that's going to be. Bye, Jacqueline. But yeah, so if you guys don't have any more questions, thanks for your help. Have a good night. You're welcome, Tiffany. You are so welcome. Congratulations on your new place and your amazing relationship. Look at you, badass manifester. But yeah, I will be back Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Next Tuesday, same time. I need to figure out what I'm doing in December, and I will let you guys know. Night, everyone. Thank you, Sonia. You're so welcome, H. Bell. Thanks for everything. You are so welcome, Zeldy Tone. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I will see you next time. Love and light.